Hello again, my friends, my fellow modelers, and my fellow Titanic fans. Today is a nice day. We got another shipment, and this would be shipment 9. I'm referring to the AGORA models. Build the Titanic. That's right, we're already up to shipment number 9. It seems like we had just started it, and, well, we're not exactly finishing, but we're a lot more deeper into it now than we were at the beginning in shipment 1 and 2. But anyway, my friends, let's take it over to the desk and we're going to check out what's in this delivery for the wonderful 1/200 scale R.M.S. Titanic. All right, let's open up this wonderful box and have a look-see. Right off the top, we got AGORA models. Love seeing this. We got some packaging, and let's take a look at the issues. This one is number 48. This one is 50. I know we got a large section. That's always fun. And this is issue number 49. And we've got issue number 46. $45. And lastly, we got issue number 47. And let's check out the issues. So we got number 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, and 45. So why don't we go ahead and dive right in, and we'll put the box to the side for now. Nice. Let's go to issue number 45 and take a look and see what's in it. And I love the menu, or the index actually. You can see what's coming up in issue 45. We've got the 20th century, games, toys, and models, and the instructions. And it shows you what's coming in the next issue. Looks like we got more lifeboats, and those look like little canvases. And davits. Ooh, gonna be fun. All right, looking over, we got the first page. Games, toys, and models. The great luxury liner has been remembered in many different ways over the years, not at least by manufacturers of games and toys worldwide. And they've got the board game, Titanic. The year is 1912. You're in the most luxurious ocean liner in history. But are you ready for what's next? Top, Titanic, the board game produced by Universal Games. Above, we have Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio in Mattel Barbie and Ken doll form. Of course, from James Cameron's movie Titanic. Ooh, always nice to see new models. Oh, that's like a Lego one. You can see the size of it. It takes up both pages. We got the box. And you can see the angle of the finished model. The Lego liner is a scale of 1/200 as it is model in our series, and is 135 centimeters long and 16 centimeters wide. Made by Lego. And you can see more of the Lego Titanic. Is that the straking on the hull? That's a nice touch. The Lego Titanic has a key locking system for the top of the keel, and the system holds the section together. That's pretty cool. Look at the engines, the engine room. And you can see the decks. And a cross section, you can see the boilers. The Lego Titanic was made so that it could be split into 3 parts, revealing the interior of the liner with all its details, the cabins, the machine room, the removable engine mounts. Wow. I'd love for them to make a model like that. That'd be great. Because as far as I know right now, there's no model kit available that has the boilers. And again, with the Lego, I'm surprised that they didn't mention AGORA or the Trumpeter Titanic. There's all this attention for the Lego one. All right, we go right into the instructions now. And what we've got the first 2 lifeboats. And looks like, check it out, you can see some of the deck, and you can see, looks like davits. Nice. Take the front section of the boat deck, 41A, and the decking, 45L. Check how the decking fits on the starboard side of the deck above. You guys remember we had done that in the last shipment 8. Then remove the backing and stick the deck in place. Smooth it down with a soft cloth. And again, I like to glue it down, just in case. And we start to add things to the deck. The winch. And you can see how we put the davits together. Wow, this is going to be cool. Now, I wonder why we're doing this now and we're not doing it later after the deck is already secured to the hull. You can see take the davit base, davit arm, and one of the davit arms in C2 and 5H. The photo above shows the position of the pegs on the parts. The corresponding holes in part 45J glue the arms of the opposite sides of the base as shown on the right. So that's the finished davit, and you glue it together. It would have been nice if it would have moved, but yeah, that's probably way too much expectations. And you can see more of the davits. Take the 2 davit bases, the 2 davit arms, and those would be 45K, C1, 45G, and the arms C2, 45H. The photo above shows the positions of the pegs and holes on each part. Glue the arms to opposite sides of the bases. And then that makes 2 davits. That's nice. And we've got the davit placement. Identify the fixing points for the 4 davits on a deck as indicated above. 1 peg on each base is larger, fitting into a correspondingly larger hole. Check that you have 4 davits in the right positions, then glue them down in place along the starboard side of the deck. Nice. We got the lifeboats. Nice. Fit a tarpaulin, to each of the lifeboats for a fit, block, gear into the slots at each end of the tarpaulins. Do not use any glue at this stage. It shows you what they want it to look like, and again, we do not glue it. And you can see the completed work. The first 4 davits have been fitted to the boat deck along with the strip of decking. The first 2 lifeboats have been assembled. Store them carefully until they are needed. And that is issue 45. So now let's head over to issue 46. And looking at the index, the date with destiny, and the instructions. And you can see what's coming in issue 47. We have more decking and another deck section. And there's the roof to the first class lounge. Okay, going over. Let's see, this is Lady Duff Gordon, designer to the stars. Despite her title, Lady Duff Gordon was from humble beginnings. She and her husband, Sir Cosmo Duff Gordon, escaped from Titanic in lifeboat number 1. Lady Lucy Duff Gordon, photographed in 1916. She is wearing an elegant yet understated dress that she has designed herself. And Lady Duff Gordon's latest styles. You can see an advertisement. An illustration in a St. Louis Post dispatched in April 1918 features the stage costumes produced by Lady Duff Gordon for a variety show. The two designs created by Lady Duff Gordon, above an evening dress of silk and cotton with lace panels and floral embellishments circa 1916, and the other one is an elegant ball gown in silk and lame fabric trimmed to the fur on the sleeves circa 1919. I wish they had more about Titanic. And the Lucille look. The label of the garment created by Gordon bears the address of the boutique in New York. And on the bottom, a detail of the decoration of the bodice of a ball gown with sprays of silk flowers and hand-sewn pearls. And the American stage and film actress Pearl White in the Duff gown of orange chiffon with brocade and fur trim, 1921. Some of the Titanic's notable passengers. Okay, on to the instructions. And it looks like we're going to do the same thing for the port side that we did in the last issue. You can see the boats, the davits, and the decking. Once again, we're going to peel the backing off, and I'm going to glue the decking down, and we're going to put it into place on the deck plate. And we're going to put the winch into the other side, and we're going to glue it into place. And you can see the winch. And again, we're going to do the davits. So I'm thinking we're going to make 4 on the port side to match the 4 on the starboard side. Again, they get glued together. You can see the finished work. Well, excuse me, not the finished work for this instruction set, but finished for here in place. Anyway, we've got the lifeboats, and again, we're not going to glue them. You see how they're going to lock in. And now, the finished work for these 2 issues. Nice. And that was issue number 46. So let's take a look at issue number 47. And the index. You can see the Giant of the Sea, the date with destiny, the 20th century, and the instructions. It shows you what's coming in issue 48. Looks like we have more lights. Alright. Cunard line. On course for change. And look at that beautiful illustration. On the 28th of April, 1865, Samuel Cunard, the founder of the great Cunard Shipping Company, died at the age of 77. The Inman Line City of Paris was the first propeller-driven ship to demonstrate that it could be equal speed of paddle wheel steamships across the Atlantic. Beautiful. There's a certain elegance about having the mast with the sails on it as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this painting. The White Star Liner Adriatic is shown leaving the bay, the busy port of Liverpool. Love it. And like I said, I love the masts. It's kind of like that transition between the sailing ships and into the full-fledged steamers. And this is the SS Servia. A very lovely ship. And you can see this looks to be Cunard Steamship Company Limited. Is this a ticket? Oh, this looks like a menu. That would be nice to have and show you guys. And this lovely lady, Mabel Francatelli, secretary to Gordon, was among those who were saved by Carpathia after the sinking of Titanic. So this is an illustration of the Carpathia. And that might be an interesting ship to do a history on. Okay, on to Titanic 2. History repeats itself. In the plot of Shane Van Dyke's 2010 film, a similar-looking cruise liner, Titanic 2, embarks on its maiden voyage in the reverse direction to Titanic. I don't usually critique films. I saw this movie and I didn't care for it. You guys may like it. I thought it, well, to be blunt, I thought it sucked. But everyone's got their own opinion. And on to the instructions. Deck over the first class lounge. And look at that. Beautiful. 47L. What is that? Foil sticker. You got more pieces. I don't know if those are davits. No, they look like the generators. Remove the protective film from the foil sticker and then apply it to the inside of the roof of the first class lounge. So we get a nice reflective bounce from the lights, I'm guessing. And we're going to put the deck on to the deck plate. And again, I like to use a little bit of the wood glue. Looking good. And then we take the vents. And let's see, those are more vents. Let's see, 47. Yep, more vents. You can see where they go into position. And we're going to glue them into place. So this issue is relatively straightforward so far. The instructions, we're just putting a lot of the vents onto the deck. The cowls. Yeah, so there's a lot of vent placement on this, but you know, it's got to be done. It's part of the build. So this is seems like a relatively simple build. And you can see we're going to put this deck actually on to the one we just finished with the davits. And you can see how it's going to be fitted with AP screws to secure it. And you can see the completed work, how the deck is starting to take shape. Nice. And that was issue number 47. So let's head over to issue number 48. And let's see. We've got a date with Destiny, the 20th century, the step-by-step instructions. And we can see what's coming up. Decking for the aft section of the boat deck, connectors, stickers, and reflective strips. And that's in issue 49. So moving on, we're going to talk about Elsie Bowerman, fighting for women's rights. Born into a wealthy family, Elise Bowerman and her mother sailed on Titanic in 1912, but survived to become leading suffragettes. Portrait of young Elise, right there. The blue plaque outside the house in which Elise lived in Hastings. All right. And a famous photo of Emmeline Parkhurst being arrested in front of Buckingham Palace in London as she attempted to present a petition to King George V in May of 1914. And that's quite an illustration. It's a board game from around 1910, featured a series of numbered images representing the suffragettes who fought to win the vote for women. And this 1910 poster, issued by the National League for Opposing Women's Suffrage, depicts a man arriving home after a hard day's work to find his daughters alone and sobbing. The room is a mess, the light bulb has blown. Pinned to Votes for Women leaflet is note that it says back in an hour or so, supposedly written for children's mothers who have gone to a suffragette meeting. The poster's message is clear. The campaign for the vote has made women neglect their main duty. They take care of their home, husband, and children. Man, things have come a long way since then. Another illustration, a demonstration of suffragettes on the streets of London. Illustration taken from the French lady daily Le Petit Journal of 1908. Volunteers from the Women's Voluntary Services at a field kitchen preparing a warm meal for soldiers. London in about 1941. And now we got Titanic on the small screen. Titanic on the small screen. In 2012, it was impossible to overlook the centenary of the sinking of Titanic. A TV miniseries retold the dramatic story. And on to the instruction sheet. We got an LED strip. Oh, look at that. This is cool. I love it. Look at, we got the forward staircase. And we got the wall. Wow, I am looking forward to seeing that. I wonder if they're going to have the clock on it. That's cool. Okay, moving on, you can see we're going to put the light strip. We're going to use the boat deck. And you can see where we're going to put the grand staircase in. Love it. And you can see how it's going to look. And we put the wall in. And that is so cool. That's awesome. That's going to look fantastic under the glass dome on top. Love it. And take the wheelhouse bulkhead and the two corner joints and position the two joints on the far side of the bulkhead so they are raised. The screw sockets raised with tabs on parts 48D. Fit the recesses and parts, fix in place with two screws. It looks like we have some more vents and some more windows to put in, to glue into place. Looking very lovely. Now you need the unused windows from issue 22 and the grill from issue 20. Okay, glue the windows and grill in place by the funnel, and you can see the completed work. Nice. And that's everything in issue number 48. Let's take a look at issue number 49. You can see the Edwardian era, life on board, step-by-step instructions. You got the LED strip, the cable, the bench dome, the davit arm, lifeboats. You can see what's coming up. Okay, on to the first page. This gentleman is John Conrad, born Joseph Theodore Conrad Korzeniowski, and he lived from 1857 to 1924. He was a seaman and a famous Polish-British writer. This photographic image was taken in 1916. The monument to Joseph Conrad on the waterfront in Gdynia, Poland, was unveiled in 1976. That's quite a monument. This illustration appeared in a newspaper from the time. Titanic is represented by the word theory, an allusion to the optimistic ambition of creating something grandiose and unsinkable. The iceberg fact is the reality against which hopeful theory tragically collides. You know, they would have been better off hitting it head on. They might have destroyed the bow, but the bulkheads would have closed and it wouldn't have been as much damage as ripping a hole along the side, a long one. Okay, check this out. Again, from James Cameron's masterpiece, the decorative style of Titanic. Everything about the interior design of the liner was created with luxury and convenience in mind, right down to the tapes and light fittings. And I love when they show the pictures of the ship. Suite B-53 was finished with a warm satin finish wood paneling with inlay details and a box ceiling in Italian Renaissance style. Love it. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the woodwork. Okay, we go right into the instructions. And those looks like foil strips, self-adhesive strips, yeah. So we're gonna start by putting the deck onto the deck plate on both sides. And let's see, looks like we're going to, take the boat deck assembly from issue 48, taking care not to damage any of the parts fitted to the deck. Turn it upside down and check how the deck sections fit together. Use 2 AP screws to fix the deck's sections in place. And you can see how we're going to put that 49D. And we're going to glue ours like we did on the other section, and then we're going to eventually screw them into place. Take the bow superstructure and position it so you can access the underside. One at a time, removing the backing from the adhesive strips and stick them on top of the LED strips, and 22D is shown. So that's interesting, kind of like light blocking. Identify strip N on the sheet and self-adhesive reflectors 49 above left. Identify the fixing points on the inside part of the wall superstructure. Nice. So it reflects and light blocks. So that's a good idea. And we're going to put more of them in place. Similarly, identify and apply the strips F, G, and L inside the port walls of the superstructure as indicated in the photo on the left. Take care to align the reflective strips with the windows. Strips M and O are fixed to the inside of the starboard wall section. Fit along the inside of the starboard wall of section 14G of the superstructure. The last 2 short strips, K and J, are fitted inside the walls at the front of the superstructure on either side of the bridge. See that? And it shows the completed work. It's starting to look nice. And that was issue number 49. So let's go on to the last issue, which is number 50. All right, moving on to issue number 50. You can see the index page, Giant of the Sea, Life on Board, and step-by-step instructions. And you can see eventually what's going to come in issue 51, and that'll be in shipment number 10. Moving on, I love this illustration. A contemporary illustration of the giant, ill-fated R.M.S. Taylor, The first White Star Line ship. That is really cool. Origins of the White Star Line and the myth. The story of the White Star Line began in 1845, and at the time, the rival Cunard Line had been in business for more than 5 years. The first ship of the White Star Line was the R.M.S. Taylor. I love it. See, this is the stuff that I like more so than, like the Lives of the Passengers or the Edwardian era. The blue willow pattern Chinese porcelain dinner service that was recovered from the wreck of the Taylor. From the outset, the White Star Line stood out from its competitors due to its provisions of such passenger home comforts. And the ocean really doesn't damage porcelain, so it can last a real long time. Got another beautiful ship. A painting of the by the English artist Charles Parsons. The ship, the Red Jacket, defies the ice of Cape Horn, bound for Australia in August of 1855. The Red Jacket was the White Star Line's second ship, although the first built and served as a freight and passenger ship from 1854 to 1866, when it was sold. And we have a cartoon of Thomas Ismay that was published in Vanity Fair in 1894. He was the founder of the Ocean Steam Navigation Company, which went on to be better known as the White Star Line. So this is J. Bruce Ismay's father. The Sinking of the R.M.S. Taylor. That might be a really great read. On the 160th anniversary of the Taylor disaster, Scottish writer Gill Hoffs revealed new theories and told stories of the passengers and crew of the ill-fated ship in her book, The Sinking of R.M.S. Taylor, released in 2014, a memorial to the R.M.S. Taylor in Portrane, Ireland. Yeah, I definitely see myself doing a little bit of research onto this lovely lady. The Decorative Style of Titanic, Part 2. This is a painting, The Fine Wine Glass, 1660. The rich furnishings that characterize the new Renaissance style of the Nordic countries is evident. And this painting was by Johann Vermeer. And on the bottom, the Titanic Parlor Suite B59 was designed in the old Dutch style. And again, that is absolutely spectacular. Above, an Indonesian batik fabric from around 1900. And we've got an armchair in modern Dutch style, manufactured by H.P. Mutters in Zoon. Alright, on to the instructions, and it looks like we're going to do the same thing with this one that we did with the other ones. You can see we're going to put the boots together, but if you guys notice, we're not putting in the canvases yet. Take the Cutter 50G, the smallest of the 3 boats supplied in this issue, and the 2 supports, 50H and 50I. Glue the supports into the holes at each end of the cutter as shown. And then take one of the lifeboats, and you can see what we do, kind of like what we did in earlier issues. And again, we don't use glue. And you can see where we're going to put the light strip. Put another light strip in. And you can see all the clips. We clip it into place. And it looks like we're going to put a davit together. It's going to go on the end. Onto the deck, right near the grand staircase. And nice. Okay, looks like a couple of benches. And love it. We got 50C. Glue the tabs of the base of the benches in place as shown. The dome 50C inside the square surround on the aft section of the deck. Do not use glue for the dome. And we got the completed work. Details have been added to the boat deck. Store the lifeboat's cutter and LED cable carefully until they are needed. And that's everything in issue number 50. So now we can think about actually looking at the parts. All right, let's take a look at the parts now. And this is issue number 45. We got the parts box. And let's take a look. We got, first thing I notice is we got the piece of deck. And I believe this is going to be for the starboard side first. Very nice. You see the backing. And we got a couple of envelopes, so let's take a look and see. And look at that. Pretty cute. We got the lifeboats. You can see the little benches in the lifeboats. So we got two of those, and look at the canvases. So the canvases are going to fit. Let me show you guys right off the bat how cool this is going to be. So they're going to fit just like that. Fit into place wonderfully. So that was what was in this envelope. And let's see, we got one more envelope for this issue. I think these are going to be the davits. Yep, yeah, and I don't want to lose any of these pieces. You can see how the gear, where it would swing out. Loving the detail. And what is this? I think this is a generator and the davits. And again, I don't want to lose any of these parts. And that was everything that was in issue number 45. Now let's take a look at issue number 46. And we got the other side now. I think this is the port side. And you can see that beautiful wooden deck. You can see the laser cut. You can see the scorch marks. And more than likely we've got the same thing. We've got the davits and we've got the lifeboats. Yep. Hopefully you guys can see the detail on the lifeboats and the canvas. And we got the davits. And let's see, what is that? A little bench? Yeah, it's going to be so small. I hope you guys can see that. And we got another generator. And we got more davits. And again, I don't want to drop these. And that was issue number 46. And moving on to issue number 47. All right. We at that little reflective foil strip. And looks like these are screws. I think these are the AP screws, or EP, I can't tell. The writing is smudged. And we got an envelope. Maybe it's got some more davits in it. We'll see. Yep. Not davits, but actually the vents. Nice. Alright, what do we got in this envelope? And this is the last thing in the box. And it looks like we have, yep, we've got the deck plate with the decking. And the decking, of course, is not attached. Not yet, anyway. So this will be a relatively straightforward issue. It's like we're getting a little bit of a break from the engines. And that was everything that was in issue 47. Now we got issue number 48. And right off the bat, we notice we've got CP screws. We got a bag of those, and this is, I love this. Check this out. We've got the grand staircase. I love it. Absolutely love it. And looks like we've got the cable with the clips to clip it into the circuit board, and you can see a light strip that has the areas to plug them into. Nice. And we got an envelope, so let's check this out. Nice. I was looking forward to this. Look at that. All right, let me put this actually, let's put that aside and show you what else we got. This is the section. Look at, you can see it's actually a door. Nice. I'm not quite sure what that is, but you got the two joints that are going to hold it in place with screws. All right, and let's check this out. That iconic clock that was on the wall. Let's see. It's going to go like this. And we're going to have the grand staircase. Beautiful. Nice. And that's everything in the envelope. And that pretty well wraps up everything that's in issue number 48. Okay, moving on to issue number 49. And this is a much larger box. And as you can guess, this is going to be more decking and deck plating. Beautiful. And we've got two sections of the decking. You can see how they're going to go. Very nice. All right, let's put that aside. And we've got the deck plate. You can see where all the screws are going to go to attach everything on top. And looking at the top, you can see where the the boats are going to rest, the lifeboats, and you can tell that there are little staircases, little steps that are going to go up to that deck. Very nice. And let's see, what do we got here? We've got the reflective strips, and it's also going to help light block. Nice. And let's see, we got this tiny little envelope. I gotta tell you, the AGORA models, they really do pack everything really well. You can see there's a lot of care that goes into the packaging of these parts. Let's see what this is. These are the plates that are going to hold the decks together. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue them in place with super glue, and then we're going to screw them in. Yep, that's what I kind of remembered that that's what they were, but I didn't want to. I needed to be sure. Okay, we got another package of screws, no doubt, to hold the plates together. And these are, let's see. Yep, these are the AP screws. All right, and lastly, we have an envelope. And let's see what's in here. Looks like we have, these are the foam. And there's an adhesive strip on it. You can see the back has the adhesive that we peel to stick it into place, and you can see how it's going to go. And that's everything in issue number 49. Lastly, we have issue number 50. And let's see, we got another little envelope. And we got more of the lifeboats. So we got 2 of the lifeboats, and we got a cutter. A smaller boat, and look at it, looks like we got another bench. There's a couple of benches in there. Hopefully you can see how small those are. Again, we don't want to lose those. And we got another envelope. And look at that. Beautiful. We got the glass dome. You guys remember we did the other one, the oval one, and I had painted it for the detailing to really come out. We'll do the same thing for this one, and we've got the covers for the lifeboats, and we've got more pieces for the davits, and that's everything that's in the envelope. I'm gonna make sure we don't drop any of this. It's 1/200 scale, but the pieces still are very tiny. And then we got the connecting cable, and lastly, we got another light strip. It's going to go under the deck, and you can see we got places for, looks like J1, J2, and J3, the plugs. And that's everything in issue number 50. And that, my friends, is everything that came in shipment number 9. This is going to be really fun. We got issues number 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. And in the next video, we're going to do the build video of shipment number 9. So, my friends, thank you so much for watching. And until my next video, I'll talk to you soon.